I need back support. I'm not that young anymore. Uh, Actually, I'm pretty young. 29 is not that old. So, came to talk to you guys um about what would Mac do? My Without a doubt, I almost want to say it's my first project I ever got like fully done, like yeah, with intent. It was so much of a passion project though, um, because I was in the middle of writing Hang In There, and in the middle of writing it, kind of started to get lost because so much of the album itself I had written the first 2, 3 songs for sure sometime when I was, like 23, 24. So by the time I was 27 and 28 actually putting the album together, I realized, hey, some of these things I don't even feel anymore. It's so hard to re-record and recapture these emotions. So in that time, instead of, going too crazy about it, I kind of put it to the side and wanted to focus more on how I felt at that very moment, as well as almost give some current context to like the aftermath of the album we're gonna hear. It was almost like a prequel kinda kinda vibe. And I was listening to Mac as I commonly do now, but I was listening to him a lot that summer of 25, and that, like, winter of 24, and realized, just how much his sound was getting kinda, like, I guess, rubbing off on me in a way. And so I took these songs from him that I felt so deeply about that, like, I just couldn't get off my playlist. I couldn't stop repeating. And I tried to find the best versions of or have people make me the best remakes they could of those instrumentals. Um, because I was just very lost, man. I was lost and suicidal. And I had finally hit a point where nobody around me, whether it had been my own fault or not, if I pushed them away or if they just couldn't handle to watch me self-destruct anymore, but everyone had kind of disappeared. So getting help became almost impossible. Like real soul from other people became hard to get because like I was just draining them or they just couldn't handle watching it anymore. And so I felt like, I had to get this really intense, suicidal not only ideation, like this plan, because I did I did have my problems with self-harm and everything, and it's kind of where it came to a head, and I had my first, like, real, attempt, and things got, back to work, and I wasn't able to work for a while, and in that time, I just needed some sort of an outlet, something to explain even just to myself what I had done and why I did it, and, that's where the album ca or that's where the mixtape came out, and if anyone listens to What Would Mac Do, which is I got it playlisted on my channel, if you give it the time and you listen front to back, you will really get into that, and it's not even like a traumatic, "Oh, feel what I feel" way, it's this really trying to understand. Like, if well, not like, I wasn't trying to, if you're really trying to understand, I feel like I gave a very good blueprint for people to kind of see how someone's brain gets there and what they're thinking in that place, right? So, I preach it a lot. I have another live where I'm talking about it that mental health awareness, it's almost like the awareness dies right there. Like we just have to like people just want to be aware. And that's about it. And I'm not saying nobody's been helpful out there. And I'm not saying that, there's not great therapists or people have had good experiences with mental health care in Illinois and in the United States, but Me personally, I haven't had the best, and I think one of the worst feelings is not only being it's like you're not alone physically. There's so many people around you. There's so many people that you could actually reach out to, but yet nobody's really picking up that phone. Nobody's really listening, and nobody really wants to know like what you're feeling other than if you're okay or not. Kind of the conversation ends at how are you? Is everything good? And as long as you say everything's good, then they don't need to check in anymore, right? And like that's it's just so sad to think we all have this idea of mental health awareness. We all have this month for it, and then we talk about men's mental health and how many men we lose. I lost somebody last year that I honestly never ever thought this person was feeling that way. And that even goes to show me like, yeah, check up. And and I'd gotten to a point where there was nobody checking up on me. And it's not their fault. It's if anything, it was my fault. But once I lost that, that's where I lost the grip of reality. Once I lost the ability to ask, you know, somebody I trusted, like, is everything gonna be okay? What is okay? Am I okay? Once I lost that, yeah, I just lost my fucking mind. And I spiraled and that's what the mixtape explains. It's almost like eh, I feel like if people listen to it and understand that, they'll be able to pick up more on the people around them because, like, I don't know. I don't know. I guess just listen to it if you ever become interested. But this whole live was to kind of highlight that. I don't think anyone knows that What Would Mac Do isn't just a mixtape of remixes to Mac songs I liked. It's a whole note from front to back, and it's this explanation of or not explanation, it's this description of this loop I was stuck in, because misery is a loop and success is a loop, right? It's wake up, repeat, blank, wake up, repeat. Or sorry, wake up, blank, repeat, wake up, blank, repeat. You can wake up, be successful, and repeat, or you can wake up, be miserable, and repeat. There's a loop you choose, and that's not to say that people struggling with mental health are choosing it, but it is a loop you choose, man. There is something to be said there, and so if you have the time, you go listen to What Would Mac Do. Please, please do it with intent. Please do it with intent. Please do it with some free time on your hands. It's only like 25 minutes, but I feel like it's really good to hear that thing front to back at least once or twice and uh and really get the message out of it. So aside from the darkness of What Would Mac Do is also very inspiring to me. And I tried to really take that question seriously every day when I was writing it, and even today. And what would Mac do isn't just like yeah, it's funny and it's a good play on words, whatever. But he was so hardworking and motivational, even in his darkest times. So when I think what would Mac do, I really do take that seriously, and I try to like put the best foot forward after that because the man that I knew him as from what I could know him, from a screen and from the music, and as you all know, like his music was so filled with his soul, and you know, I I strive to live my life in that kind of way where even when I'm doing my worst, I can give people my best, and that's kind of where I'm finally getting to. It's taken a long time. I'm 29, and I feel like I'm just barely getting to a place I feel comfortable. Um, with myself and love myself better. So, it's a journey, guys, and we're all in it together because I know even though I feel, having BPD, I may feel emotions very intensely. There might even be people in this world who've never felt emotions the way I felt. But even in that, I'm not the only one. We all suffer in one way or another for something at some time in our life, and your paper cut is someone else's gunshot wound, and vice versa. So just remember we're all in this shit together, and can't give up on each other. Don't stop looking for help, and don't stop giving the help either. 'Cause that's when we all truly fail. Uh, Oh, shit, I didn't even know anyone was in the chat. My bad, guys. I can't see anything from, over there. Mr. Hunter, what's up, brother? It's nice to see you. Thank you guys for being here. It always means the world to me. I, uh, I do urge you all, please go listen to the tape and, give it all your time.